Dr. Yu, for your beautiful introduction. It's quite a journey. And it is also unforgettable experiences. You don't have social connections, and then you have nowhere to go in the middle of the night. But I met beautiful people who they helped me. So they mold people, and then yes, they're kind police officers, and then towing driver, and thankfully I could reach out the rental car center before they closed the doors. Actually, they waited. He made a call. But again, I think I have a beautiful support system. While I'm doing this, my wife is looking how I make claim for these things. So I have a beautiful support system. So actually, as it told, yes, I'm joined the doctoral program, HDFS, in 2013, and then finished my program in 2018. So I had lived in Wind River for 5 years, like you. And then thankfully I got a land position in East Tennessee University out of nowhere, under the mountain. It's beautiful, actually. Haven of allergy too. So, yes, we are family scholars. So everyone has different disciplines, expertise. So here's a little bit of example. So when you feel depressed, and we psychologists say, hey, I'm a major. We have great scale on the major depression level. Counselors, what they do? Come on, lie on the couch, I'm gonna listen to you, right? Social policies, social work scholars, what they do? Okay, we're gonna found support system to you based on policies. What about nursing or doctors? I'm gonna give you a prescription. What family scholars do is, I wanna know relationships. Because family scholars' perspectives, a lot of pains or challenges may come from relationships and dynamics. So today's topic is about aging, but I think this is not new. But what social psychologists do is looking at the society, what is going on, why it's going on, so what will be the effects on this in the society, and actually predict it. So as an example, China and South Korea now, we have a lot of divorced families. But in the 70s and 80s America, you saw the skyrocketing divorce rate. So what the researchers do is, what was going on? So they look at the frequency analysis of divorce. And then what they did was also, the next step was, what divorce brings to the family? What is the effects of divorce in the family? And the next step is, what triggers divorce? What do you see? We have a lot of reasons, right? No fault divorce, or women's rights movements, and a lot of women's education, higher level education, enjoying the job market. But at the same time, there were other reasons. And next step, how we can predict divorce. In the same fashion, aging is not that new idea, right? But what we do is we see what is going on in the society and try to understand it. And then why you think you understand it? Because you have a family. But what we do is we try to see or prove our ideas with data, empirical study. So again, this is not a new idea for you, but let me summarize what you already know, and then what we proved with our empirical study, and then to give insights about your family. Because when I'm asked what are you doing, what's your interest, I say, I'm interested in you, and I'm interested in your family. So these ideas can be applied to your own families. Okay? So far so good. Yeah. Oh, actually, my research activity lies in fathering and fatherhood. I have 3 kids, so it reflects my father identity as a father. Yes. But again, I also cover a lot of family relations. So when thankfully, I'm honored and humbled to be here. And then Dr. Yu and I discussed about topics today, and we focus on your aging, your life situations. So this will be our topic today. Good. Yes, why aging? Why aging? So aging matters actually. So again, I brought some statistics. We usually start lecture with statistics to grab your attention. South Korea, 8.3 life expectancy. China, 79. And US, 78. The thing is, for South Korea, last year, they passed threshold, super aging society. It means that one in five people is over 65 years old. One of the aged society was fast growing aging society. But US and China is following too, right? So the number shows what is going on, what has been done, and what will go in the future. So why East Asia? Yes, one of the fast aging in the world, and also strong Confucian tradition, and also family-centered elder care, and tradition meets modern reality. We all know this. But again, we social scientists arrange this idea and they beautifully make summary and deliver it to you. East aging in the world, you saw the stats in the previous slide, and the strong Confucian tradition, we know it. So the idea, we have two similar but different concepts, filial piety and filial obligation. Filial obligation is more linked to Western society, but it is more like filial piety, it's more familiar to Confucian society. And then we also have family-centered elder care. While we are developing social policy, social support system to aging people, families is still the core of a supporting system. So for instance, my department colleague, Dr. Bill Davis, I'm living in Johnson City, and he lives in Johnson City, Tennessee, and his elder parents lives in Columbia, South Carolina. And his parents are aging, very fragile. So recently, Dr. Davis moved his parents into Harrisburg, 1 hour driving distances, so that they can move and visit parents frequently. And he also building support system for parents because he's not there with them all the time. And tradition meets modern reality. This really fell into South Korea and even China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan. You the term compressed modernization. So everything changes so fast. So in an example, I have just one younger brother, and he got divorced 10 years ago, and now he got married. It's beautiful. But when my younger brother got married, my father said, it's a shame. It's a shame of the town, shame of the family. So even in a family, we have a traditional idea, traditional norm, beliefs regarding marriage and divorce, and also we have another advanced, industrialized, modernized, or Americanized value too. So in a compressed modernity brings clash between traditional beliefs and then more, modernized beliefs. It exists, coexist in a family. Right? You experience it. China, South Korea, strong Confucian tradition, family remains, urbanization, one-child policy legacies, right? Especially mainland China is a great city, big country. So there's an issue regarding living in rural and urban cities too, geographical distances. And then, China doesn't have no longer the one-child policy, but they have policy over their decades. So it brings 4 to 1 problem too. One child is supposed to support 2 parents, and also supposed to 4 grandparents. 1 to 4 issues too. And there are millions of adults, only other children, mainland China, as you know. Why East Asia? Why China and South Korea? Because most of you from those countries too. I'm from South Korea. Again, fast aging world, strong Confucian tradition, family-centered care, tradition meets modern reality, but yes, that is a summary. East Asia, aging is not only a demographic issue. it's also about family issues too. Every family has one or two living parents, and they are getting older and frazzled. We are supposed to support them. And we cannot understand caregiving in East Asia without understanding family culture, because when you go grocery shopping, you see all the citizens, all the seniors do grocery shopping independently without any help. So culture also matters in supporting. Culture also matters in caregiving systems. I'm checking on my time here. I'm too fast. I'm fast. 30 seconds. So again, you know this, but again, arrange the ideas, arrange the ideas, and prove it, show it with empirical studies. What changes when society ages? Society, healthcare costs rising. We spend millions and millions of dollars. We spend millions of yen to support elder parents. More older adults living alone. Living alone, isolation. Isolation really matters too. I cannot recall the exact source, but living alone, isolation is very harmful to health like what is that? Yes, smoking 15 cigarettes in a day is almost a pack. So really dangerous, feeling isolation. And then striking workers, yes, drinking workers, and also uneven care across regions. I'm in Appalachia, and as you know, Appalachia is mountain areas, and we have a very uneven healthcare system because geographical distances. And then, yes, they cannot they cannot provide even support to all the families in the mountain areas geographically. So it's like here, it's like China, Korea too, especially China. The distance between cities and rural areas is vast, and we have limited resources, so we cannot provide even support across regions at the society level. What about the family level? Fewer children to share care. We have less and less children. You know, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea shows the record low level of childbirth rate, right? And also sandwich generation pressure. We all know this term, sandwich generation. So we have aging parents to support, but also we have children to support too. And geographical distance matters. Norms versus modern life. Yes, we all did this. The clash between traditional value and the more modernized value regarding anything in family lives. Individual, loneliness and health decline, caregiver stress and guilt, financial burden, emotional exhaustion. So let me repeat this again. Loneliness, healthcare burden on adult aged parents, but caregiver stress and guilt, financial burden, and emotional exhaustion. So we all know this. The caregiver matters. Caregiving matters, but you know, we made through the COVID-19 era, and then you know a lot of. At the time, we realized that how caregivers' health is important. Endless job of nursing, So at the time, we really focused on the healthcare providers' mental health, physical health too. Yes, caregiving is exhaustion and very hard. It brings strain, a lot of things. 3 types of caregiving support. So again, this is what researchers do. You all these do, but categorize them. They categorize caregiving into 3 parts: financial support, instrumental support, emotional support. I believe you either of them or all of them. Financial support is obvious. Wiring money to your parents, pay your debt, pay your parents' medical bill, or sending some allowances to your parents, with your parents. So living expenses and medical costs, and also can be sent remotely, and no need to be present. My father passed away 8 years ago, and only my mom. And then last week we had a parenting day in South Korea. So I clicked the button. Thank you, son. Common when children live far from parents. Yes. Most common type, especially when you live apart from your parents. Instrumental support matters. We all know this. Instrumental support. Household tasks, shopping, or cooking, errands. What about drive your parents to the doctors? Transportation. And then actually, to do this, to provide instrumental support, there is one assumption or condition. You should live together, or you should live close, right? So that is another hidden assumption about providing instrumental support to your aging parents. Requires physical proximity to parents. Emotional support, that is most common type. So listening, encouragement, companionship, regular calls and visits, most common type across all cultures. Yes. So I cannot physically with my mom in South Korea for now. So I wire money and also make a frequent call to just listen to what she says. She repeats what she said before. I keep listening. This emotional support. Yes. So 3 types. This is behavior, action. But for behaving or for acting, we need reasons. We need motivations, right? For instance, if you believe your health is important, you may quit smoking cigarettes. If you believe when you believe your health is important, you may have regular workout. Or if you believe relationship is important, you may more call with your children in college, right? So everything has motivations to act. But at the same time, context matters too, right? So if although you believe health is important, your job is very stressful. You're working 40 hours, 60 hours a day. It's very hard to quit smoking. So there are contexts between motivation and behavior. So let's look at the motivations about caregiving behavior. Why does caregiving matters? Oh, okay, before you go there, why does caregiving matters? It is about quality of life, right? Quality of life. Caregiving shapes whether aging parents live with dignity, health, and connection. I want to highlight dignity. Living with dignity matters, actually. The mirror of relationships, yes, is family bonding. Yes. How families care reflects intergenerational reciprocity and closeness and trust. So just for someone who is not familiar with reciprocity, it's just give and take. Reciprocity, like ping pong. And adult children well-being, again, caregiver matters. Caregiver matters. Actually, I lost my dad for cancer, and I didn't know that before. And my younger brother supported him for 4 years while he getting the chemotherapies. So my younger brother's mental health was horrible at the time. And social sustainability. Families are the backbone of elder care in East Asia. If families cannot cope, society may face a crisis. While I'm preparing for this, I realized that China passed a kind of Filial Piety law 2013. I capture it, but I cannot pronounce it. But it said it requires, if you have parents older than 60 years old, you are required to visit them frequently on a regular basis. 2013. Why? Because government noticed it is important. It is not just an individual issue, it is not just family issue, it is also society level issue too. But again, policy is policy, law is law. Law cannot ask us closeness, emotions, quality of things. There is a foundation. But the thing is, Yes, the thing is, it is also about supporting aging parent, providing caregiving is also societal issues too. Okay? Yeah, motivations. I brought 3 major motivations. Filial piety, like filial obligation, and reciprocity, and relationships. Actually, there are other motivations like altruism, and also adult attachment. Means that I don't want to lose my attached figure, right? So I don't want to lose my primary caregiver when I was a baby. That is another motivation. But usually consider 3 motivations. Filial piety. So we all know this, right? It is kind of, this is not low, but super embedded value, moral value, like respect your parents, and then follow what they say, and show respect and hierarchical structure. Reciprocity, give, take. Give, take. Oh, I feel I owe. I feel pay back what I got from you. Third one, relationships, of course. And then, again, researchers do this. There can be 2 types of relationships, quality and quantity. So quality, how deep. Quantity, how frequent. These are major motivations for supporting behavior. Okay, so good. Yeah. We know this, we all know this, but again, I try to arrange it this to you. So this is from one of my empirical study. The title is Filial Support Behaviors, Associations with Filial Piety, Reciprocity, and Parent-Child Contact in China. So I had co-authors, Dr. Sue Russell and Dr. Chris Pro, and we got this publication from Families, Relationships, and Societies. We used the data, we used the 2026 CGSS, China General Social Survey. Actually, yes, this data has more variable regarding the motivations, and also the second author, Sue Russell, she's from mainland China, so she knows the context. Okay, context matters when you study families. So we decided to use this data. Research question: how Chinese adult children support provided to parents? In other words, how Chinese adult children supporting behavior to their parents was associated with filial piety, reciprocity, and parent-child contact frequency, not quality. So why we did not use quality? Because there's no variable in the data. So when you use a secondary data set, your idea is combined with available variable in the data set, right? So we could not use any variable. There was no variable regarding measuring quality, so we used frequency. So data 2026, Chinese General Social Survey, and then the sample size 1,452 adult children having 2 living parents. We use the structural equation modeling, so it allows to test multiple relationships at one time, simultaneously. Predictors, filial piety, support receipt, contact frequency, and also outcome, yes, finance support, and instrumental support, and emotional support. Okay. Yay, beautiful. We have a measurement model. When your measurement model is good, you move to the structural equation modeling. Again, yes. Oh, yes. Again, these are 3 motivations, and then over the data, there are 3 behaviors. So main findings. I'm not going deeper regarding research analysis result, the analysis result. But let's check out the main ideas from their analysis. So filial piety only significantly related to emotional support, and then support received from parents is related to instrumental and emotional support to their parents. Contact frequency predicts instrumental support. So this apply for son and daughters, but there are a little different contexts between son and daughter. But I will not go deeper. So the main idea is filial piety did not predict financial instrument. Filial piety can be a foundation, but it cannot be a main trigger, main motivation to their supporting aging parents. Let's go deeper about these results. Yes, we have a filial piety, and then reciprocity, and relationship contact as a motivations, and also we have three support behaviors, and the reciprocity and context more consistent protector and predictor of supporting behavior. So again, what social scientists do, you have your own idea, we see what is going on, but we want to prove it with the data, with empirical studies. Filial piety still matters. Yes, it matters. But it may not be the strong motivation to support your aging parents. It can be foundation. So it's not gone, it changed the form. Yes, there is a similar study run by German psychologists. In German, reciprocity was the strongest predictor of supporting aging parents. So it'll be maybe universal when we are more modernized. Okay? So now, from filial piety to family resilience, the shift we are seeing, obligation-driven. I must care for my parents. No question, you are supposed to do, and nobody tells you directly, but you feel obligated, you feel pressure, right? Nobody told you divorce is a shame, but you feel shame. That is moral, deeply embedded in a culture. But now, maybe supporting elder parents would be relationship-driven rather than moral beliefs. Next one, filial piety is a fixed form, right? Again, it changes. Filial piety may be adapted value, adapted to modern society, to the face of a modern society developments. One directional duty is not just one direction. It may be bi-direction. So supporting supporting child, and the child gives back. So reciprocal. So altogether, it is related to family resilience. We know the term resilience is kind of bouncing back when you have challenges. Family resilience. From, again, family resilience. That is capacity of families to adapt, reorganize, and then continue caring for one another in the face of change and hardship. Think about the immigration family. So again, I really congratulate on your achievements for your global leadership program. So you may stay here 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Think about your family dynamics, how it changed while you are living here. Right? So it is about adaptation, reorganize roles and expectations within the family too. So family resilience does not merely freedom from burden. It is about means family adapt and continue caring. So takeaway messages. Aging is more than a demographic issue. It is not just number. So we all know this, but numbers are not just numbers. Numbers reflect social phenomena, and numbers reflect what we are really experiencing. It can be happy, it can be sorrow, it can be pain, it can be delight, but numbers reflects social changes, what we are seeing, what we are experiencing. Second one, family resilience is a key framework. Okay? In the changing society, filial piety, like traditional Confucian role, may not make a strong foundation of supporting elder parents. Family adapts to the changing society. And the filial piety transforming, not the spirit. It is there. It's there, but with a different form, different meaning. And the central questions has changes, right? So who's going to prepare or absolute? We must care for children. We must care for aging children. And then we think, we may ask, how? How we all can support our parents too. It's asking to change. Yes, central questions has changed too. Aging well is not about obligation. It is about relationships. That's what family scientists do see to the aging societies. Yes? Again, takeaway one, aging is more than demographic things. We are reshaping families, cultures, and values. Family resilience is the key. Family adapts, negotiate, find new forms for mutual care, each other. Family piety is transforming, is there, but change the form, not obligation alone. And the central question has changed, who must care? And you're the son, your eldest son, you're supposed to care for the children. That may not work anymore because we see changing society. But how do families sustain care in changing times? We may change the question itself. Okay, I think it's done. Yeah, references. Thank you. Thank you.
Family relation has changed over the decade. So let's have some Q&A session. Apply to all our life. So any questions from our audience?
Thank you. Yes.
I wonder how, or if there are very many homes, like nursing homes and or places where parents, like in this country, many parents we put in nursing homes or facilities. Is there, what's the comparison with South Korea or China?
I have no data.
Is it common? I mean, it doesn't sound like it's common. It sounds like it's more the parents are living, or the adult children are taking care of the parents in their home or nearby.
Yes. So again, this is just from me, and then correct me if I'm wrong, because every family is different context. So yes, I believe there are a lot of nursing homes and adult care systems with support facilities in South Korea and China. But I think that will be less individual. Because again, family members are supposed to support aging parents, and also nursery homes doesn't take the customers for free. So somebody has to pay, and it's not that cheap. It's not that affordable sometimes. So it is another, that can be having elder parents in nursery home. This can be another problem, another discussion to solve among family members, because it is about moral duty issues, it is about actual incidental support issues, and also it is about financial issues too. So again, there are facilities, things, a lot of support systems, but I think that is also comes from family discussion, family context too. Thanks for the question. Yes?
Yes, so with the changing economy for younger generations, do you plan on reviewing this topic again in the future and adding more research on the financial burden, or whether that plays a larger role in whether children can take care of their parents?
Yes, of course. I think it's a matter of time, and then that is about available data set too, because as we all know, aging parents matters too, but this is also younger generation who don't date and who don't get married. That also a huge issue too. So having aging parents means that they have babies without marriage or cohabiting whatever. We don't have offspring to support us. So for now I think the society's concern is more about younger generations, marriage, dating marriage. But again, as you said, at least in South Korea, they started to collect longitudinal data set regarding the age things. So I believe they will have a lot of research about that. That's what I can say now.
I have a question. Regarding the dropping number of like younger generation replacing the workforce and aging society, part of that is younger generations are wanting to immigrate to more Western countries because there's the appeal of a different psychological setup with like family piety and all that. And so I was wondering how that kind of goes into your research, where it's younger generations kind of wanting to escape that more cultural traditional value that is back home in their home countries, and how much that comes in conflict with choosing to take care of their parents. Especially if like the motivation is I want to escape these cultural norms that I don't identify with, but my parents are stuck in that mindset. I imagine that provides a lot of conflict then between families, especially when that should be geographically right as well.
I have no data either.
Okay.
But we have K-pop. K-pop demon hunters. So what I'm saying is, like me, still more younger generation, more people try to leave from their own mother country to find education opportunities or find job opportunities too. But also, how do I say, occupation too. Occupation. For instance, just in my case, I know just what I know. And every family has different contexts, different stories. In my cases, I have just one local brother. So he and I developed kind of a supporting system each other. So as you're right, I cannot be with my mom when he needs me. 7,000 miles away. I have to drive 15 hours to get to the airport. But I contact my mom a lot. And I also support my younger brother because I know he's the old soul provider, my caring for my mother, mom. So I would say it can be individual issues too, or it can be family issues too. But I don't know, each one has, I believe each one has different motivation to leave for other countries. But, yes, that's, but I know, I feel some moral clash. You know, because I cannot be with my mom when she needs me. Yes. And thankfully, when my father had the last breath, thankfully I could be with him in the final moments. But that is another moral strength. No data.
Thank you.
Professor Ko, yeah, it's wonderful to have you back to your alma mater.
Thank
Thank you so much for sharing your research on a very important topic in such a fast transforming societies in East Asia, very important topic. I was curious about how the filial piety, one of your motivation factors, were quantified or measured in your data set. Yes.
Actually, there are 6 items about this. So we go back to brain teachers. So on the top, where is it? Come on. On the top. So actually, the original data set is 6 items regarding filial piety, but we removed the 2 items because of the co-residual issues. So it has honoring parent, and also it has thanks for raising. And next item is treat parents well. And next one is giving up interest. So these are items we have in our measurement model. So giving up interest, in family-oriented society, family matters. Family is more important than you. It always comes first than individual's interest. So we look over these, we use these 4 items for measuring filial piety in this study. Did I answer your questions? Yes. Yes.
One more factor that could go into this is, in the last few years, because of technology, communication has become so much better. You know, we can send text messages and emails and FaceTime each other, and it's free. You know, where it used to cost money to call somebody on the phone or to have any kind of communication. That's quick, slick, and easy. You can send pictures to each other and videos to each other. And a lot of us, when we have family that's far away, that's how we kind of stay in touch. And that could be one of the components in this, and is that part, the communication is a lot easier, a lot better these days.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. For instance, yes, my friend Dr. Garris, he also has a kind of monitoring camera. He put the monitoring camera on his parents' house, so he can see what is going on. So for instance, his father passed down, post down, and he cannot reach out to anyone, and he sees it, and then make a phone call or contact someone next to him. So there is technological developments, there is benefits of technology. Yes, I am totally about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Me?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for sharing your wonderful and also the insight in your research result. And as a Korean immigrant, I deeply resonate this your topics deeply resonate with me. And there seems to be a big generation gap in expectations about the filial hierarchy within the first and second generations. And what is the most important factor in closing these gaps?
Within immigrant families.
Yes. From your experience.
It really touches me. because yes, one day, yes, I had a publication about developing a conceptual model to the immigrant father psychological with the ecological system theories perspectives. And then I did a lot of literature review, and I saw so many immigrant families have the same issues. And then one of the hardest issue was the parent-child relationships. I have 3 kids, and especially 2, the youngest one and the middle one, they're daughters. They speak English to each other. Many times I cannot understand what they're saying. Generation gap, the cultural barrier, the language barrier, and the contextual barrier. And then sometimes I feel isolated because I don't know what they're saying. And then I believe I have many things that I want to share with them regarding life lessons or calculus I learned in psychology. So I would say again, relationships. So relationships matters. This is what I can share. To have good relationships, we need both quality and quantity. Quality and quantity. So having quality relationship really matters to narrow our gaps, especially immigrant family parents and then their younger generations. But to get quality, we need quantity. Only what I'm saying is, if you have children and then just have 5 minutes contact, 5 minutes communication in a day, it's very hard to raise quality. So what I'm saying is, being with them as much as we can, and then try to connect with them as much as we can, and get interested in what their lives important, knowing their classmates' name and their hobby and the a shop they want to go frequently, and what kind of items they're interested in Pandora or whatever. That would be kind of resources for us to connect and then building relationship with our children too. Yes, I'll be empty nest in the fall, and my husband will leave for college, so we'll be totally just with me and my wife. And then, yes, I have very complete issues, what I said. I tried hard to survive in this country. This is not my country. So I had to put myself a lot into research and service, teachings. So I'm here, but at the same time, I lost many ways, many opportunities to connect with my children too. So those sometimes they cannot be reciprocal. They cannot coexist together because I be here, I cannot be here. So what I'm saying is, we have structural issues about relationships in immigrant families, but at least try to understand, at least try to get interested in their lives. Will give us more resources to be connected. Yes, and it can pick up. Yes, people, it comes too late. People, it comes too late. Yes.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
Thank you for your insightful presentation. Here's a quick question.
Yes.
I have a father of 2 teenagers. Can you give me some idea or advice on how to learn the so-called family resilience?
So, treat they are daughters or sons? Future daughters or sons?
Son.
So treat them as your guest. They are totally different people. They are not the person you know. So totally different people. So take them as a guest. So parenting never ends, right? When they're young, when they're just born, it's just kind of physical pain. You have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and suffer from the lack of sleep. But teenagers, emotional. It's really burdensome, conflict. But when they're in college, it's about money. So it never ends. So thankfully, I have a very wise wife, and we always talk about each other regarding the family and also children. So what we learn by raising our kids is just wait. They'll come back. They know, and if you have developmental psychologists, he or she can bring more ideas, but their prefrontal lobe is not fully developed. They cannot make a logical decision. So their the other parts, the emotional part, triggers. So my middle one, Julie, she shared this story. She's now supplement psychology, and she told me, Dad, when I was a teenager, and then I went down to the living room, kitchen, and just opened the refrigerator, opened the fridge door, and I saw her, hey, are you eating something? And then she just, don't ask anything. Don't ask anything. So that's natural. Just waiting and treat them as a guest. And they'll pay the bill and they'll leave. And as when they'll come back. Sometime later, they'll come back. Well, now just patience. That's how we grow too, right? That's how we learn life lessons too. Become a better person.
Becomes a life lesson class. We all have Asian parents, so Dr. Ko confirms that there are some daughters